You're watching Let the Quran Speak. Now we answer questions we've received from you, our viewers, and if you have a question yourself, please visit our website, www.quranspeaks.com. Okay, Brother Shabir, the first question is, how does one decipher or understand the meaning behind the coincidences one experiences?
Well, we may not always know the meanings of the coincidences that we experience. From a faithful point of view, many of what people describe as coincidences are really part of the plan of God. So you might say, okay, I bumped into this person at the supermarket. So is this just a happenstance, or is this part of God's plan? Mm-hmm. It may be just God's plan that so put the two of you together such that there may be a sharing of ideas. There could be an opportunity that will come up in conversation. Somebody may talk about a job opening that they knew about, and that may be just the job that you need to apply for, and so on. So it's. But
on the other hand, there might be no meaning. It might just be something completely random. Could you see it like that as well?
Well, on one religious view, God has so controlled everything, He's so predetermined everything that there are no coincidences at all. A modification of that view is to say that whatever happens is happening according to the plan of God, but the plan of God is so vast and allows for so many different possibilities that this possibility could have occurred, that other possibility could have occurred. Whichever one occurs is still according to the plan of God. But again, there is a flexibility and more than one possibilities could occur. But even with that modified view, whichever of the possibilities do occur is still happening according to the plan of God. And in that case too, it's not really coincidental. It's random in the sense that is this possibility than the other one that occurred. But there is some meaning behind this. There is some reason for you to bump into that person at the supermarket. But would we always know the reason? No, we cannot fathom the mind of God. We cannot know all of the details of His plan. But
should we try to think about what the reasons might be?
Not necessarily. I think it is enough for us to think about the scriptural guidance, which gives us broad perspectives on how to differentiate between good and evil, how to steer our life, how to develop a rich and holistic personality. And once we're doing all of those things, we shouldn't worry so much about, we should think to a certain extent, obviously, is there some reason why this happened? But not to go too deeply into that and become obsessed with something that we can't really figure out at the end. It's good to be perceptive about what's happening around us and to us and with us, but at the same time, we have bigger things to worry about.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to the next question then. Should we let our children choose their religion?
Well, when children are of a minor age, naturally we make all kinds of choices for them. What they're going to wear on a cold, wintry day, the school they're going to go to, even the kinds of things that they're going to eat, the programs they're going to watch on television, the kinds of video games they're going to play. So we make certain decisions for them. That's natural because they need our guidance when they're minors. In terms of teaching religion, naturally every parent would want to teach their children the values that they hold dear. But then there comes an age when the child should be allowed to decide for himself or herself on many issues: what to eat, what to wear, what to watch, what kind of games to play, and so on. Also, what religion they would like to follow. We can only give them the guidance that we feel is important, and we can teach them the truths that we know. But at the end of the day, when they reach of the age of discretion, when they can choose of their own, we can't force religion on them. We can only show them the different paths and then leave them to choose their own.
What age do you think that would be then?
It's not necessarily at a particular and strict age, but generally in the Islamic tradition it is thought that when a child reaches puberty, that's when the child reaches the age of discretion. That's when they can actually make choices for themselves. Of course, the age of adulthood might vary from one region to another based on the experience of people, their observation of the maturity of their children. But in general, we should stress that parents have a sort sort of openness towards their children when it comes to religious issues, such that if children broach ideas which are not in conformity with the ideas of their parents, the parents should have some tolerance for that. And we can use persuasion, and we can bring together all of our wisdom in our conversation with our children, so that we can show them something they might have overlooked. But at the same time, we should give them the opportunity to think for themselves and to decide what they want to believe in, such that whatever belief they do espouse, whether it be Islam or something else, will be a genuine belief. It'll be something that they actually do hold to, and that can motivate them in their lives to do good for themselves and for humankind in general.
All right, great answer. This is another question, another hard question.
Mm-hmm.
Why would God create Adam and Eve knowing that they were going to fail and sin?
Well, there are two aspects of this. One is something that we touched upon previously when I spoke about predetermination. Did God so predetermine all of the events such that Adam and Eve necessarily had to sin? So in that case, God knows, okay, I'm going to create Adam and Eve. They're going to commit this sin on such and such a time, in such and such a way, and this is going to be the result. Well, if the question then becomes, if God knows that this depravity of human beings is going to be the result, why create them in the first place? Well, one answer could be that God knows that there is also a reparation for that, and that bad as things look at one moment, it will actually turn out to be good in the long run. So even though Adam and Eve will commit the sin, and that will entail some consequences in the short run, in the long run, everybody goes back to God. They enjoy a life together with Him, happily ever after in paradise. So He knows that the outcome is good, and therefore He creates Adam and Eve in this way. Mm-hmm. But an objection to this would be that if He knew that there are some sinners who will commit sin and then go to suffer in hell, especially if that is going to be forever, well then why create these sinners in the first place? Because nobody forces Him to create these particular sinners, and He knows that these ones are going to fail. Why would an engineer create the very products that he knows are going to falter? Mm-hmm. He should create good products. So that's the objection. The response to that might be to say that God created us with the possibility of both good and evil, and He knows the results of all of these actions, but He gave us the real possibility to do either the good or the evil. Peter Vardy, in his book The Puzzle of God, and in another book of his, The Puzzle of Evil, advanced the idea that if some things are so random, and this is how God created them, so we shouldn't speak of God predetermining those events.
All right, I know you have a lot more to say, but we have to end there. Thank you, Brother Shabir.
I'll leave it at that, yeah. You're welcome.
And we'd like to hear from you. Please visit our website, www.quranspeaks.com. Send us your comments, your suggestions, and of course, your donations. I'm Safiya Ali. For all of us here at Let the Quran Speak, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allah